Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition of Nuggets of Wisdom. My name is Empress Pamela, and today I am sharing with you notes on spirituality. These notes can cover many different things that we encounter or learn on our spiritual journey or path to enlightenment, if you will. Um, but these are things that I wrote down over the years in my journals, and I happen to put them under the category of spirituality. So, in my previous video, I shared 21 tips. This one looks like I'm talking about, um, well, you'll see. I'm just going to share it with you, and we'll see what happens. Spur of the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Guidance through guided meditation. So I think meditation is a key component into clearing our energy, clearing our blocks, clearing our mind, um, becoming a blank slate. And for people who are not yet on the journey or just starting to wake up, it is very difficult for them, for us. At one time, it was very difficult for us to even contemplate taking the time to sit with yourself in silence. Oh my God, what do you mean? I have so much to do. I've got to control my day. So it's like we've made leaps and bounds, people, from those days of being so immersed in um, what we've been programmed to do and what expectations have been programmed in us. And we have to start small, and we have to let go of the guilt of taking the time to actually be in silence and be with ourselves when we quote unquote should be fulfilling our other roles like mother, daughter, sister, wife, husband, aunt, you name it, worker, co-worker, all those roles and expectations, those hats that we've been made to put on in our lives. And then we realize, who am I? We have that question. Wait, I am not all these things. I am something much deeper. And I didn't even know I was going to talk like this, but everything I say makes sense to me, and it's said for a reason. So, meditation. I was a control freak. I was programmed um, quite well, quite toxically, I would say. Um, so I had to start small. What tools helped me? Well, I started, and I've mentioned this in other videos. There was an app called Headspace, I want to say, and they offered free meditation. And it was like starting even from 1 minute. And then I worked my way up to like 5 minutes, and that was all the freebies I used. And then I'm like, oh, wait. And then I got to the point where I was like, oh, I need to do this and I need to do it and I need to continue. So I found this channel on YouTube. It was called Guided Meditation, and it was 10 minutes. And Lord have mercy to sit there for 10 minutes in silence and take the time to be with myself and to learn how to let go of the guilt that I felt for not constantly doing things for others. I was finally doing something for myself. And there was a level of guilt that I felt for taking that time, which is silly when I think about it. Ugh, so unhealthy, right? But thankfully, I found that channel, guided meditation, and it was like 10 minutes, and I really enjoyed it. And I did it every day, and I was in the zone. And from there, I believe I signed up for, well, I came across something called Solvana, which was a part of Mind Valley, which is a spiritual um, app that offers courses in personal development, spiritual development, everything. So, anyway, Solvana, and I don't think it exists now, but they offered a course through Deborah King, and it was Transcendental Meditation. And that was an amazing investment in my own self. So, along the course of spiritual development, you realize part of self love is investing in yourself. And if you don't love yourself, a lot of the times you don't think you're worthy of the investment. So it's a whole, my God, there's so much involved. But this is also a journey to self love. You realize that. For me, the way I say it, I came into this world alone. I'm going to leave alone. Nobody will put me first except me. And that's part of investing in yourself because you love yourself and you need it also. Intrinsically, you need that time alone with yourself to become the best version of yourself. So, meditation, that's my journey. And there were times when I was so good about it. Like every morning I would go out on my front porch and I would do my sutras and my mantra and just allow and be, even just listening to nature and the sounds in my world brought me peace, made me feel connected to God, source, the universe, my higher self. A lot of the time, so the benefits, you get downloads. So downloads could come in many different forms. Um, but a lot of it is inspiration. A lot of it is higher knowledge of what you're here to do. What is the next step? I mean, you get guidance. So, this is the topic, guidance through guided meditation. Um, I wrote down, so there was a time also when in meditation I saw spirit animals. So my spirit animals are, there are many, but the ones that come to mind, that I wrote down here: spirit guide dolphin. I'm very connected to water, and dolphins have been, well, they've been one of my favorite animals my whole life, but also tigers have been my favorite animal. I couldn't choose between the two. But down here, I also wrote a cougar, spirit guide cougar. I know Black Panther has been um, one of my guides, and then um, I'm a cat person, so cats that I've had, pets, cats, were also my guides as well. And many other. I mean, owls are another animal spirit guide for me when I see them in nature. So I don't see owls, but I did at the zoo, but I felt very connected. But in my own yard, and I have many videos in my moments in nature, but hummingbirds, but dragonflies are out. It's now July 2025, and we're dealing with like high humidity, temperatures in the 90s, close to feeling like 100. But the dragonflies in my yard are like crazy, a multitude. I think we saw a dozen outside my window the other day. And those I find very spiritual. A couple years ago, I was sitting out on the back deck and, just tanning, sunning myself. And I had a damselfly land on my arm and a dragonfly land on my leg. And I felt like, wow, I felt special. I felt like there was definite messages. I felt supported. I felt loved. I want to say, yeah. And I'm just lucky that way. I have a lot of nice nature. I've got bird feeders, so cardinals. I've always felt a connection with um, the male cardinal. I call him Miguelito. But yeah, a deer. Recently, I had a deer. I looked up. I was recording, and it's in my one of my recordings. And there was a deer in my yard, and I live like in a neighborhood, a suburb of Raleigh. So it's not like I'm out in the woods in the mountains. You know what I mean? It was so special. Anyway, a lot of these things in nature, signs from nature, are spiritual, and you can look up the meaning. And it's important that you look up the meaning of these things. It can give you answers. It can give you reassurance that you're on the right path. A lot of these things. Gift, self empowerment. One of the gifts of meditation, self empowerment. Yeah, you can get answers. You can get the focus. It can help you focus on something from clearing your mind during meditation. Something will come to you, maybe it could be an idea, and that can give you the energy to, or inspiration to focus. Okay, archangels. We hear about archangels, especially if you're into like tarot or oracle, or you listening to readers or things like that. But Archangel Michael, his symbolism or what he represents is protection. Raphael represents healing, and Gabriel represents communication. And there's more archangels, and you can look up the meaning, but I don't know. I got an email. I'm telling you this story. I got an email probably 8 years ago, I want to say. I probably signed up for something, I don't know, or whatever. I didn't feel like I did, but then maybe I clicked on something and then I got emailed and bombarded with a bunch of stuff. But one time an email came through and it said, your archangel that's protecting you is Jophiel. And I'm like, Jophiel? I never heard of it. So, of course, I went on this tangent of researching because my curiosity was piqued. And I read about Jophiel. And I was like, oh, wow, this freaking makes sense. It aligned with me. It resonated. It really, I felt a lot of guidance in that moment. I don't know who sent it to me. I don't know how I got it, but I printed it out and I would refer to it and know. And it was a tool to help me understand my purpose, my passion, understand who I am, who I was meant to be, to understand why I was drawn to things during my life. Um, the things about Jophiel also corresponded to things in my natal chart. Funny enough. Yeah. So um these are signs from the universe, is my point. And who's your archangel? Who's the angel that's protecting you? Well, that's something that you will find out, right? Okay, this section, protect your energy. So many times, well, if you watch tarot readings or whatever, um, it'll be like, you have to protect your energy. And you're like, what? How do I do that? What do I do? Well, I use, let me show you. I've got crystals. I've got Palo Santo. I've got a nice candle. Um, what are other ways to protect your energy? Raise your vibration through music, sound therapy, singing bowls will change the energy in a room. Cleanse with sage, Palo Santo, a smudge stick, which I just showed you. Get grounded. Yes, this was a big one. Clear your energy. Get grounded. Earth, sand, water. Get grounded. Take your shoes off. Walk in the grass. If you're lucky enough to be by the lake, beach, a body of water, put your feet in the sand, put your feet in the water, immerse your body in the ocean. I can't wait to do that. Hopefully, I'll be able to do that in the fall. I'll be able to get to the beach and go in the ocean. So in North Carolina, in September, October, the water's still nice and it's a lot cheaper to get to the beach and stay. So I guess that's my goal coming up. But during my the intense parts of my spiritual transformation, let's say, when it was a full moon, I had to get to the water. I had to get to the beach. I had to get to the ocean. And my husband was so understanding. He's not awake necessarily. Um, he's probably one of my lessons. I think he was my mother in a past life. It's weird. Anyway, but during my transformation, I felt compelled. I was like, I have to go. I have to. And there were like, I probably have receipts of like, if I didn't go every month, I went every other month for a period of time. And it's like, what, 3 hours away, 2.5 hours away, the ocean. But I was called to go there on full moons. And I did that. And it was a good experience, but it was an intense feeling to get grounded. Number 4, connect with self meditation. Yeah, get grounded through meditation. I just talked about that. So that's another way to clear your energy. Number 5, visualize a protective shield around you. There's so many, on YouTube has a plethora of ways to get grounded, ways to protect your energy. Protective shield around you. I want to say the violet flame, saying a prayer, doing a meditation. I like bubble baths to clear and cleanse and protect my energy. I spray essential oils before I leave the house around me in a certain way. I mean, yeah, I do like certain ritually stuff that just um I've what do you call it? I've taken up as a habit over the years, maybe. I guess I want to say. Okay, intuition, insights I can feel and see. 2, release your expectations, open yourself up to possibilities. Infinite intelligence. I am a channel for infinite intelligence to express itself through. I am one with infinite intelligence. Something that I've done to help strengthen my intuition and to feel that connection and kind of like be a channel to get downloads. Although I don't do it, I haven't done it in a long time. But there was a time when I felt called to do a reading, and I have a collection of oracle and tarot decks. I created a deck of my own that's what I call healing deck. I've created, just has words that my focus is on how you can heal or what needs to be healed or addressed at this time in your life rather than, you know, love or anything like that or money or those kinds. My readings are different. They're more, I go by perhaps the pictures that are on the card, the words, if they come up, the numbers. I just go with my intuition. So, my whole point is I use these readings to help strengthen my intuition. And it's an interesting practice to do if you feel called to it. If you're not called to it, don't force yourself. That's what I say. Anyway, let's see. I have some time written down. So there's 12 laws of the universe. You will probably encounter learning more intensely about each of these laws at some point. I don't know if I have the material. I probably have material that might go into one or two of these more in depth, but I'll just introduce them now. The 12 laws of the universe. Number 1, divine oneness. Number 2, vibration. Number 3, correspondence. Number 4, attraction. Number 5, inspired action. Number 6, perpetual transmutation of energy. Number 7, the law of cause and effect. Number 8, compensation. Number 9, relativity. Number 10, polarity. I almost saw it as popularity. Polarity. Number 11, rhythm, perpetual motion. Number 12, gender, masculine, feminine, yin, yang, anima, animus. So that's just that's just me reading a list. We'll probably, like I said, go into those individually at some point. My next video looks like we'll talk about discovering who you are. What is your passion? We'll see. Hope to see you in the next one. Take care.